And so I'm going to ask you, do you really believe that? Some of you are going, yes. Do you live that? There was a pause. That's because sometimes being in these human three-dimensional bodies, we find ourselves in situations where we forget to be kind, or we forget to be loving. We forget. I want you to look at the wall over there and somebody holler out, and what does that say over there? Be still and know what? Who? Huh. Do you believe that? When do you forget? When do you forget? When you forget to go, ooh, I believe in the power of kindness. Ooh, I believe in the power of love. Sometimes, again, in these human bodies, we forget what it is we say we believe. So isn't it interesting that right now your practitioners are getting up here every week and they're reminding you what you say you believe? Because I want to tell you a secret. Most of you already know this. If you lived fully the principles that you say you believe, woo! You didn't get it, did you? If you believed fully the principles you say you believe, woo! That's why I wore this dress. Thank you. There's somebody who believes. That's why I wore this dress. I wanted to wake you up this morning. Okay? I wanted to wake you up to what it is that you say you believe. Now, you know, I spoke for unity this morning. Something very similar to this. Because what I notice in both congregations is we talk a really good talk. We talk. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah. I could stand up here for 30 minutes and tell you every unity principle and every CSL principle. But do I live them? Do I? That's what Zestful living is about. If I totally, 100% believe the principles, my life is going to be on fire every day, all day long, and miracles are going to start happening. Do you believe that? Yes. I heard a yes from somebody right there. I heard a yeah from somebody. So tell me what it would take for you to be on fire with this. What would it take? Because what I can tell you is if you were on fire with this, we would have standing room only in here. And I said the same thing this morning at Unity. Some of you are going, and some of you are going, is there a door exit that I can get out of here right now, right? Yeah. I'm going to push you a little bit this morning because I think the world needs us more now than the world has ever needed us. I'm going to say that again. The world needs us, both congregations right now, more than they've ever needed us, right here in Nashville, Tennessee. And we have been gifted with an opportunity that where all of our energy is here in this building, rummaging around on Sunday together, sometimes out on the ground, sometimes coming in here and doing things together. Some of you were here for Marianne Williamson. Who was here for Marianne Williamson? Okay. Whether you like her or don't like her, she said something really amazing that I heard and I took to heart. She said, whoever wins this election, anybody been thinking about that lately? That's not the real deal. You have to vote your conscience, whatever it is. But the real work for all of us happens after the election. Now, I'm going to say something that is a tiny bit negative, but we'll clean it up later. Half of our country, half of Tennessee will be unhappy with the results. Can you hear that? What is our job? Ooh, I believe in the power of kindness. Ooh, I believe in the power of love. Do you? How will you be once that's over with? How will you be if you know somebody you love voted for the other side, whoever the other side is? Because we don't know, right? How will you be? What are we charged to be? Well, the first thing we're charged to be is to remember these principles, right? Do you remember what Dale said the principles were from last week? Oneness. Oneness. I used to say this in a church on the other side of town. We can't even get it in here. Thank you, Lynn, for laughing. You get it, don't you? We can't even remember it in here that we're all one. We can't even remember it on these grounds because we separate ourselves. Those people are unity. Those people are CSL. Those people. We don't even know what they teach, but it might be weird, but, we're here, okay, right? I've heard you. I've observed. I've heard unity. I've observed. Oneness. Do you know what unity's first principle is? Oneness. Isn't that funny? When are we going to get it? Now, that doesn't mean I've had people go, are you trying to shove us all together? No. I'm just reminding us that we're all the same. It's verbiage of the way we talk, what we think is important in the moment, but it's all the same. Do you remember what the second one was last week? Ooh, I believe in the power of kindness. Ooh, I believe in the power of love. Do you? Do you? Do you believe in oneness and love? Those are the first two. The first two. Today's powers are the power of creation. Do you know you're a powerful creator? Echo me. I am a powerful creator. Ooh, that was good, but it's 12 o'clock. I have a hard time at Unity at 9:30 because they're still asleep. And they're in their, I tell them they're in their jammies and their house shoes and they're still kind of asleep. So, yeah, some of us still may be, right. I'm going to say it again. I am a powerful creator. Do you believe that? Yes. When do you forget? Look at somebody beside you and say, you are a powerful creator. What does that feel like? It feels good for somebody to acknowledge that. So when does that not feel good? When does some fear come up about knowing that this thing I'm living, I created? That's a whole nother talk about victim consciousness. We won't get into that today. Because some of us like to stay in that. Feels comfortable. This morning at Unity, I had a picture of Eeyore and Tigger. And I said, which one are you today? Oh, you just don't understand how bad my life is. Right? Be still and know what? I am God. And when I acknowledge something doesn't feel good and I get into my Eeyoreness, I have to remember I am God. I can create something different in this now moment. Echo me. I am a powerful creator. You are a powerful creator. We are powerful creators. Did you feel that? What can Center for Spiritual Living Nashville create when we believe that? Anything. Everything. So what stops us from believing that? What stops us? What stops us? You can holler out. I'm good with that. Fear. We're either fear or we're love. There's all kinds of things in between all of that, but we're really either in fear or we're in love. So now you have a song to sing to yourself. When you get in fear, to go, ooh, I believe in the power of kindness. Ooh, I believe in the power of love. And just remind yourself over and over and over until you get it, dropping those 18 inches from your head to your heart. Now, I'm going to say something that you're going to think I'm going against CSL, but I'm not. I'm just deepening it a little bit. You can't just change your thoughts and everything be okay. You got to believe what you think. Can you hear that? I can change my thoughts and say, ooh, I'm a man today. I don't know why I chose to wear this, because probably wouldn't have if I thought I was a man today. But just me thinking that thought doesn't make me show up differently. In fact, I might push against something. Do you understand that? If you try to affirm something within yourself that you don't 100% believe, you ever tried that? Have you ever had some issues with that? Yes. Yes. So there's a slide I want you to put up there for me. I think you can see that. Your beliefs become your thoughts. Did you know that? What you truly believe, that's why it's important to know, do I truly believe these principles that I say I believe, that I show up with all the time, that I pray, that I have conversations about? Because my beliefs become the thoughts I think. And then my thoughts become what? The words I speak. Ooh. Anybody in here, like me, ever said something that came out your mouth and then you went, oh my, where did that come from? Oh. And then I have to go, do I really believe that? Do I really, really, really believe that in this moment? So your beliefs become your thoughts, and your thoughts become your words, and your words become your what? Oh my. This is deeper than just going, I can change my thoughts and change my life. I can, and I got to dig deeper than just going, okay, I'm going to think something different. I have to believe it 100%. Because when I stand up here and say, ooh, I believe in the power of kindness, and then I treat somebody nasty, guess what? I don't really believe it. I don't really believe it. And so my actions become what? Habits. How do we change a habit? We have to do something different, don't we? We have to do something different, show up differently, go, okay, I'm not going to do that. Now, what I want to say to you, because I've coached people for years, when I say I'm not ever going to do that ever again, well, I'm just digging my own grave, because I probably will do it a few more times, but I say I'm not going to do it today. And then I'm going to look at it and go, what have I done today, and how did it feel to change my behavior today? To say, I do believe this, and I will speak this way, and I will show up this way. Your habits become your what? Values. Has anybody looked on the website lately and looked at what it says, CSLN values? Just that's some homework for you. Just look and see what CSLN says that they value, and is it in alignment with what you believe? With what you think? With the way you think? And then your values become what? Does that not sound pretty serious? That it all started with a belief. But somehow or other, this connects with this, and my belief becomes my destiny. Do you get that? So, what do we believe about why we're here? Somebody just sucked all the air out of the room because I felt it. What do we believe about why we're here? Somebody holler out, why are we here? To remember that, to experience. What else? What? To love. Who said that? Mm-hmm. Connect. Back 6 months ago, we started having conversations here in Circle, and what kept coming up is you wanted connection. You wanted community. You wanted to talk to each other. You wanted to experience this together. What does that look like? What I heard Kath DePalma say recently is that if we want to create sacred community, beloved community, which is a Martin Luther King thing, we have to deal with qualitative and quantitative change. Do you remember those two words? Qualitative and quantitative. Quantitative change in our lives, which means I have to show up more times than not differently if I want my life to be different. If I want to create the life that I'm dreaming of, if I want to create something brand new, if I was already showing up that way, it would already be here. You understand the way quantum physics works? So I got to change something. Change. We don't like that either, do we? We want to just hold on to what is and make it all happen somehow or other. Instead of going, okay, what is it that I can do differently today? What can I believe differently? What can I think differently? What can I say differently? How can I be different? But then there's that qualitative change. I did quantitative. How do you change the quality of your life? We're going to start there because we're going to move to how do we change the quality of a spiritual community. That seems rather daunting, doesn't it? It's like, that's a whole lot of work. What do I do about us all showing up, believing in the power of kindness? Us all showing up, believing in the power of love. How does that happen? One person at a time. Can you be that person? Can you be the person who shifts your beliefs? So last week, Rosemary talked about how all this stuff works, and I loved her analogies that she used. So I'm going to be brave and reach out there and share some personal stuff with you all about how it works with me and how it worked in my life. And I had to learn how it didn't work wisely first. You ever had to do that? It's like I had to go, okay, that ain't it. I didn't do it right there. So I believe that your mind and your heart and your gut have to be in alignment. Body, mind, soul, whatever you want to call it, to take a step forward. Back when I was 23 years old, I went to a very fundamental church. Very fundamental church. I had a really hard time being that, because I'm a little bit out of the box kind of a person. But what I noticed through my life is about the time I was 23, everybody that I was friends with were married, but me. Everybody. I'm talking about in the church I was in, they were all married, and they all started having children, and some of the elderly women, trying to be polite, said, "Honey, don't you want to get married? What's the matter with you?" I'm like, "Oh, I don't know." And so, very quickly, without really fully thinking about it, I grabbed somebody and went, "You will do." You ever done that? Because I wanted to be a part of the young married couples class, because that's where everybody was at 23 years old and 24 years old. They were all in that class, and they were doing fun things together, and I couldn't go because I wasn't married. So I got me a guy, and I said, "Here we go. We're going to get married." Yay. Well, we kind of dated for a little bit, and it was kind of okay. I knew something didn't feel exactly right, but I was like, okay, it's okay. We'll do this thing. I convinced my thoughts that to be a part of this group of people that I really didn't like anyway, but, when I think back, I go, why did I do that? But I thought I needed to. Has anybody ever done that? It's like, I need these people to like me, so I'm going to be a part of them, and I will do whatever it is that they do. So that's not holding on to your own beliefs. That's not understanding your thoughts. So what I will tell you is the day of the wedding, did I love this person? I think some, yeah. But the day of the wedding, as my daddy walks me out of this huge big church, 850 people sitting there watching this, okay? I had on a gown, cathedral length, a big veil, big honkaboo thing my mother created, okay? As we come out of this place where I had dressed and we stand there looking down the aisle, I felt sick, like I was going to throw up. From right here, it's like, oh. But I had convinced myself that this is right, and I had tried to be love, but it didn't feel right. And my daddy, who was my champion, felt me on his arm and said to me, "Honey, you don't have to do this if you don't want to." And I said, "Let's just get it over with." Okay? The next 7 years, I was an abused woman. Okay? Do you understand how we create with our beliefs? I believed I had to do that to be a part of a group of people that I really even didn't want to be a part of anyway. But I needed to belong. And so I changed the thoughts that I had in my mind of, I don't want to do this, to I can do this, I will do this. And I moved forward. I know that if I went around this room, there's everybody in here would have some sort of a story about that. But do you remember last week when Rosemary said, if something comes down, a download for you, pay attention. If Holy Spirit says to you, you need to have a conversation with Lynn, then have a conversation with Lynn. Don't go, What do you believe? What do you believe about living this life, about sitting here in these physical bodies that you're sitting in? Do you understand that you are magnificent, powerful creators? And you can create from a place of love or from a place of fear. And I showed you what happened to me from a place of fear. I am a powerful creator. You are a powerful creator. We are powerful creators. So in case you don't know these two little stories, Ernest Holmes was born in 1887. That's a long time ago. In Lincoln, Maine, to a very poor family. Poor. poor, poor. He left school at age 15, and he went to live in Boston. And he worked at a store to pay his tuition to Leland Powers School of Expression in Boston. You may not know that at all. And he was then introduced to Mary Baker Eddy's Science and Health, as well as Christian Science, and he began to study those philosophies and began to understand everything that I thought I believed. I don't have to do that anymore. I can believe in the power and presence that lives inside of me, and I can create something different. And he was asked to speak in his late 30s at the Metaphysical Library in Los Angeles. Do you think that 15-year-old boy who dropped out of school and was poor, poor, poor ever thought, in that moment, I'm going to be asked to speak at the Metaphysical Library in Los Angeles? I bet it wasn't in his consciousness at that point in time. He had to study the principles, and they had to shift him. So I'm going to have a very short conversation before Ashley sings again about something that may make you a little uncomfortable, so I'll just be honest. I am a person who metaphysically interprets the Bible. I've done it for years. And there is a story in the Bible about what I'm talking about, so I want to share it with you. There was a man by the name of Saul, and he was persecuting Christians. I'm not talking about the Christians like we have today. I'm talking about Christians that had followed the teachings of Jesus, the master teacher. And they were doing it on the down low, so to speak, because if they let everybody know what they were doing, people were persecuting them. And there was this man named Saul, and he was doing that, but he was uncomfortable about it. And so the Bible tells us he was on the road to Damascus. Now, the thing I want you to hear from me is one of the reasons I love Charles Fillmore is he took every word in the Bible and metaphysically interpreted them. The word Damascus means awake. The word Damascus means awake in Hebrew. The word Damascus means awake. He was on the road to becoming awake, which is what politicians don't want us to be, but anyway. He was on the road to becoming awake. And what happened to him is all of a sudden this bright light shined down. That's what we're told. I believe the bright light came from within him. Because in the story it says he was blinded and had to go somewhere for somebody to take care of him for a while because he could not see. When the light of who you are begins to shine inside of you, you quit looking out there for the answers. You get on the road to Damascus. You get on the road of being awakened to something that is much more powerful than you can even grasp at times. And what we know in that story is he eventually changed his name from Saul to Paul because he wanted to be totally different. He wanted to wake up and do what he came to the planet to do. When, my friends, are we at Unity and at CSLN going to begin to wake up to what this is about? It is really much bigger than either of us individually. It is a bigger deal that we are sitting here in the buckle of the Bible Belt in Nashville, Tennessee, and we have some truth that this world needs. Are you ready? Are you ready? Yes. Namaste.
Welcome to the Sunday service at CSLN. We are a welcoming and inclusive community of inspired individuals caring for and about each other and the entire planetary family. The Center for Spiritual Living Nashville offers spiritual tools for anyone seeking a more fulfilled and meaningful life through a deeper connection with a higher power or universal truths. Be sure to subscribe below if you enjoy our programs.